Welcome to this explainer, where we're going to tackle a massive, often completely hidden danger in the trading world. Today, we're diving straight into the absolute #1 reason traders accidentally lose their prop firm accounts: doing the daily loss limit math wrong. You might think you have your risk completely under control, but a simple misunderstanding of how your specific firm calculates your limits, well, that could literally cost you your entire funded account.
Imagine jumping into the market, totally confident that a solid safety net is right there to catch you if things go south. Traders often think they have a full tank of fuel, say $5,000 of runway, when in reality, they actually only have $4,000. So they take one more trade thinking they're perfectly safe, they hit their stop loss, and suddenly, their account is closed. They didn't even intend to violate the rule, they just calculated it wrong, and that safety net gave way.
So, to make absolutely sure you never fall into this trap, here's our roadmap for today. We'll cover the daily limit trap, the 3 different calculation methods, those sneaky hidden costs and overnight trades, the 80% rule, and finally, a daily risk tracking checklist.
Let's start with part 1, the daily limit trap, and understanding your true runway.
Now, a daily loss limit is exactly what it sounds like. It's the absolute maximum amount you can lose in a single calendar day. Surpass it by even a fraction of a penny, and your account terminates immediately. The absolutely crucial point to remember here is that this limit is strict, and it resets at the start of each new trading day. Usually that's at midnight in the firm's time zone, or right at the market rollover time, around 2200 GMT.
Let's make this super concrete. If your limit is exactly $5,000 on a $100,000 account, I want you to think of that as your daily fuel. Losing $5,001 means your engine just cuts out midair. Your challenge is instantly over. There's no warning, no temporary suspension. It is just game over.
All right, moving on to part 2, 3 calculation methods and how different prop firms actually move the target.
This right here is where a massive assumption gets completely exposed. So many traders just assume all firms calculate that fuel gauge the exact same way. Spoiler alert, they absolutely do not. Let's look at a losing streak where your $100,000 account has unfortunately dropped to $97,000. Under Method 1, the static method, used by firms like Funded Next, your limit is always 5% of your starting balance. It stays safely at $5,000. But under Method 2, the dynamic method, it's 5% of your current balance, shrinking your limit to $4,850. And Method 3, the hybrid method, which FTMO uses, takes 5% of whichever is lower between your start and current balance, meaning you're also dealing with that reduced limit of $4,850.
This completely illustrates the danger we're talking about. If you falsely assume your firm uses the static method, you're going to think you have a comfortable $5,000 runway. But if they actually use a dynamic or hybrid method, taking one more trade could violently breach that hidden $4,850 limit. Seriously, that $150 mathematical misunderstanding? That's the exact margin between trading another day and totally losing your funded account.
Let's walk through a highly practical example. Say you are already down $3,900 today, and you're debating risking $1,000 on a final trade. That would mean a total potential loss of $4,900, right? Well, under the static method's $5,000 limit, you are perfectly safe. Take the trade. But under the dynamic or hybrid methods, remember, your limit shrunk to $4,850. Taking that exact same trade will blow your account by $50. Your firm's calculation method literally dictates your decision-making.
Okay, part 3, hidden costs and overnight trades. These are the invisible weights on your scale.
Beginners often think their stop-loss value is their total loss. It's not. You might plan for a strict $1,000 stop-loss, but spread costs and commissions get added to your total equity change. So if a trade costs you $60 in spread and $70 in commissions, that bleeds an unexpected $130 directly from your daily limit runway. Think about it. If you take 10 trades in a day, that is $1,300 consumed purely by costs before a single stop-loss is even hit.
And we really have to talk about overnight trades. Most firms calculate your daily loss based solely on closed trades. But if you hold a losing trade overnight, through that 2200 GMT rollover we mentioned earlier, some firms will apply that unrealized open drawdown to your new day's limit. That means you could literally wake up already in the red, with half your daily runway completely gone before you've even had your morning coffee. If you're ever uncertain about your firm's specific rule on this, the absolute safest protocol is to just close all positions before the day resets.
Which brings us to part 4, the 80% rule. This is your emotional circuit breaker. I want you to calculate exactly 80% of your firm's daily loss limit and make that your absolute non-negotiable internal stop loss for the day. Treat it like a heavy metal vault, locking down securely. If your daily limit is $5,000, your internal hard stop is $4,000, period.
Now you might be wondering, why give up a whole $1,000 of my runway? Well, because that remaining 20% isn't for trading. It is a buffer. It exists purely to absorb unexpected slippage during news events, those hidden commission fees we talked about, and honestly, most importantly, to protect you from emotional revenge trading. When you hit that 80% threshold, literally close your laptop and walk away. Do not evaluate one more setup, because that final 20% buffer is the only thing keeping your account alive.
Let's tie it all together with Part 5, the Daily Risk Tracking Checklist. This is your foolproof morning protocol. Every single morning, before you even open a chart, grab a notepad. First, write down today's date and your exact starting balance. Next, calculate your specific daily limit based on your firm's method. Is it static, dynamic, or hybrid? Write it down. Then, calculate your 80% internal stop level. Note your current daily loss, which of course starts at 0. And finally, meticulously update that cumulative gross loss after every single trade closes. Remember, your daily loss isn't about how many trades you've won or lost. Let's say you won 2 trades for $1,800, but lost 3 trades for $4,100. Your net loss is $2,300. Prop firms track this as the raw mathematical difference between your balance at the start of the day and your current live equity. So if your starting balance was $103,000 and your current balance is $102,200, your daily loss is exactly $800. Always track cumulative equity change and make sure you're including all those hidden fees.
So the ultimate question to ask yourself right now is this: do you actually know which calculation method your firm uses? I mean, are you assuming they use a static method when they might actually be recalculating a dynamic or hybrid limit every single night? Please, don't let bad math be the reason you lose a funded account. It might just be time to go read your rulebook before you place your very next trade. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and definitely stay safe out there in the markets.